exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5, inhale, exhale 6, inhale, exhale 7, inhale, exhale 8, inhale, exhale 9, inhale, exhale, bring the seat up and back, downward facing dog. Softening the knees on the inhale, slowly start to walk the feet forward till the toes come 6 to 8 inches behind the wrist creases. And then exhale, folding over straight legs in a modified Uttanasana. Hands are on the mat or blocks. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5, inhale, exhale 6, inhale, exhale 7, inhale, exhale 8, inhale, exhale 9, inhale, exhale 10. On the inhale, heel toe the feet as wide as the mat. And then exhale, coming into a yogi squat. So the feet are pointed out slightly, bringing the sit bones down, bringing the hands into heart center. Exhale here for 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. We'll multitask. Inhale, exhale 5. Inhale, exhale 6. Inhale, exhale 7. Inhale, exhale 8. Inhale, exhale 9. Inhale, exhale, place the hands on the ground, come to sit down. Extend the legs out in front of you. Dandasana, staff seat. On the inhale, bend the right knee. Exhale, place the right foot on the outside of the left knee. Inhale, lift the left arm up. And then exhale, twist over to the right. Inhale, exhale 1. So really pull those left toes back. Exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. There you go. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, extend the right leg next to the left. Inhale, bend the left knee. Exhale, place the left foot on the outside of the right knee. Inhale, lift the right arm up. Exhale, twist over to the left. Inhale, exhale 1, dorsal flexing that right foot. Exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. That right leg is still active. Inhale, exhale 5. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, extend the left leg next to the right. Bend both knees, place the feet on the ground, hips width distance apart. Bring the fingertips 6 to 8 inches behind the sit bones. On the inhale, press into the hands and feet and lift the hips. And then exhale, bring the head back with control for 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. Inhale, exhale 6. Inhale, exhale 7. Inhale, exhale 8. Inhale, exhale 9. Inhale, exhale, tuck the chin, come to sit down. You can find a comfortable seat for some chanting together. We are going to chant from page 16, number 19, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. And before we chant that, we'll just chant 3 ohms together. Bring us all together in the room. Inhale deeply. Om. 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 So we'll start it as a call and response, and then we can chant a few times together. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Together. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. And then we can continue chanting together. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free, and may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some small way to that happiness and to that freedom for all. So we always talk about in yoga, one of the 5 elements of our Vinyasa practice is to set a higher intention. And if any of you have taken class with Austin, he often says that's what makes it different than a Zumba class, just a fitness instruction. Not that there's anything wrong with fitness, right? That's great too. I like Zumba. I like to dance. But we separate, even though we're doing movements on the mat, even though we're moving our body, and sometimes we get a little sweaty and it can feel like our heart rate's going up because it is. And so it feels like a good workout and we're getting stronger and building muscle, right? We always set that higher intention. And it really helps us to just go beyond the mind and the body that we have, right? That we can all touch our own legs and arms and head, right? And you live in your mind all day long, right? And those fluctuations can really go. And so it's just asking us as we set that higher intention to think beyond that, right? And it can be, setting the intention of yoga, which is like reunification with a higher self, right? But it's something beyond just the tangible that you have in front of you every day. And by doing that, we also, then you can extend that line of thinking and say, so it's also then asking me if I'm thinking beyond my own ego and my own self, then how am I showing up in the world for other people? And what does happiness and freedom for all even mean? Is there one definition of that? Is it different for every being, right? Do I ask myself every day when I say hello to my plant, hi, baby girl, am I really thinking about what does happiness and freedom mean for baby girl? And when I forget to water her most of the time, but she's still alive, hanging out with me every day. So, we think about that, whether it's plants, animals, our neighbors here on the mat. And so as we explore this month, this idea of liberation and freedom, and what does that mean in society? What does that mean outside of society, right? Setting an intention for our yoga practice, getting out of our own mind and body into something else can just help us to think about how do you show up and interact with other beings, and how do you understand happiness and freedom for all and try to contribute to that. So something to think about. Hello. Oh, happy Holi, as I'm seeing some beautiful colors. So come, you could, if you opened your chant books, you can fold them up and move them off to the side. I'll come pick them up. Let's just have our friends come to join us so that they're not stuck next to the wall. So let's see. Will, do you mind coming up to the front? And then that way we have a little bit of space back there. Come on up. I won't bite you. I promise. I don't know about your fellow yoga practitioners, but I won't. All right, cool. Okay. And then once we're situated here, just come stand at the top of the mat. Thank you, everybody. Look at us and our compassion for others. Come stand at your top of the mat once you have it resituated. That's great. Anything you don't need right next to you on the mat, you can move over to the side. And then let us set a higher intention for our practice, right? Maybe it's thinking about a being that's either in your life or something that you hadn't thought about before. Maybe it's a being, like for me, it's like a rat. It's like, ugh. But how do I think about happiness and freedom for a subway rat? I don't know. And then bring the hands by the side, Tadasana. So come stand at the top of the mat. Welcome to both of you. We'll start with Surya Namaskar. So bring the prayer hands back together in the center of the heart. Bring the prayer hands up overhead. See the prayer. Exhale, fold forward for Uttanasana. Soften the knees on the inhale. Step the right foot back to a lunge. Look forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, slide forward to Bhujangasana. Exhale, seat to heels, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. On the inhale, step the right foot forward, lunge. Exhale, left foot comes to meet right and fold over straight legs. Inhale with straight legs, bring the prayer hands up overhead and see the prayer, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. On the inhale, soften the knees, step the left foot back to a lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, slide forward, Bhujangasana. Exhale, seat to heels, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale 1. So I'm going to have you put your hands on these blocks if you can, and then just keep them there, right, as we move around. Exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. Without a down dog split, just step the left foot forward in between the hands. Here we go. Exhale, right foot comes to meet left. Fold over straight legs. If your palms are not squarely on the ground, then just keep those blocks on outside of either one of your feet and then ground down in the hands there. Now, keeping the legs straight, on the inhale, hinge at the hips, lift the torso, bring the prayer hands up overhead. Exhale, hands by the side, Tadasana. So one of the things about the Jiva Mukti practice, the Urban Sadhu practice, right? It's largely a listening practice. It's another way to be outside of your own head and be present and active, right? So if the teacher's saying bend your knees, then you bend your knees, right? It's not just like what you are accustomed to, but really staying present and listening. So on the inhale, bring the prayer hands up overhead, see the prayer. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana, hands on the floor or blocks. Inhale, look up, prepare. Exhale, step or hop back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, exhale 1. So bring the hips up and back to downward facing dog. Exhale 2. There you go. You can bend the knees a little bit. Exhale 3. Bring the feet in a little bit. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Bend the knees, look between the hands. On the inhale, step or hop the feet in between the hands. Exhale, fold over the legs. So bring both feet in between here. Inhale with straight legs, bring the prayer hands up overhead. See the prayer. Exhale, hands by the side, Tadasana. With straight legs, hook the thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, bend the knees, fold forward, clasp the hands behind the back, straighten arms and legs. On the inhale, bend the knees, place the hands down next to the feet, step the right foot back to a lunge, look forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, slide forward, Bhujangasana, cobra. Exhale, seat to heels, downward facing dog. On the inhale, step the right foot forward, lunge, look forward. Exhale, left foot comes to meet right and fold over straight legs. On the inhale, bend the knees, hook the thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, bend the knees, fold forward, clasp the hands behind the back, straighten arms and legs. On the inhale, bend the knees, place the hands down next to the feet, step the left foot back to a lunge, look forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, slide forward to Bhujangasana. Exhale, seat to heels, downward facing dog. On the inhale, step the left foot forward, lunge. Exhale, right foot comes to meet left and fold over straight legs, Uttanasana. On the inhale, bend the knees, hook the thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, hands by the side, Tadasana. Let's do that one again. We'll add on a little something in between. Inhale with straight legs, hook the thumbs, reach up and arch back. Exhale, bend the knees, fold forward, clasp the hands behind the back, straighten arms and legs. On the inhale, bend the knees, place the hands down next to the feet, step the right foot back to a lunge. Exhale, drop down to the right knee. On the inhale, hook the thumbs, reach up, arch back, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, place the hands down on the mat, framing the left foot. Tuck the right toes, then come back into a downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, slide forward to Bhujangasana. Exhale, seat to heels, downward facing dog. On the inhale, step the right foot forward, lunge. Exhale, drop down to the left knee. Inhale, hook the thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, place the hands down, framing the right foot, step the left foot next to the right and fold over straight legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, bend the knees, hook the thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, bend the knees, fold forward, clasp the hands behind the back, straighten arms and legs. On the inhale, bend the knees, place the hands down next to the feet, step the left foot back to a lunge, look forward. Exhale, drop down to the left knee. Inhale, hook the thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, place the hands down on the mat, tuck the left toes, step the right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, slide forward to Bhujangasana Cobra. Exhale, seat to heels, downward facing dog. On the inhale, step the left foot forward to a lunge in between the hands. Exhale, drop down to the right knee. Inhale, hook the thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, place the hands down on the mat, framing the left foot, tuck the back toes, step the right foot next to the left, and fold over straight legs. Inhale, bend the knees, hook the thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, hands by the side, Tadasana. Inhale, bend the knees, arms alongside ears, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold over straight legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, look up, prepare. Exhale, step or hop back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On the inhale, step the right foot forward, left heel turns down, coming into a warrior one. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot in between the hands. Turn the right heel down, coming into a warrior one. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog and stay. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Try to lift this up. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, look between the hands. Option to either step or hop the feet in between the hands. But really get them all the way up in between those hands. Again, keeping those blocks on either side of the feet to help the palms if they're not grounded down. Inhale, bend the knees, arms alongside ears, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands by the side, Tadasana, straightening the legs. Step the feet about hips width distance apart. So that should be about the same distance as 2 fists if you were to look down and measure. There you go. Yeah, just in a little bit. Now bring the hands to the hips so the thumbs can come in toward the sacrum. You're pulling the elbows a little bit toward each other. And then on the inhale, arch back. Exhale, fold forward. So now you can bend the knees and grab the big toes in yogi toe lock. So you bring your peace fingers in between the big toe and the second toe, and then you put the thumb on top of the big toenail. Now keeping the knees bent, trying to straighten and elongate the spine so the chest comes close to the thighs. Inhale, look up, lengthen, knees are still bent. And then exhale, start to straighten the legs as you pull the elbows out to the side. And you try to keep the chest close to the thighs for 1. So your knees may stay a little bent here. Exhale, 2, but you're trying to elongate them and get a stretch in the hamstring. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Now soften the knees, release the toes, and then place the palms on the ground in front of the toes for half a breath. Now here's a fun one. Some of you know this, some of this will be new. Pick up your toes, so you come onto the heels, and then bring your hands underneath your feet so your toes come into the wrist creases. You might have to bend the knees a lot to get those toes all the way up into the wrist creases. You get? Okay. Now, again, elongate the spine. Look up, inhale. Exhale, fold forward, trying to elongate the legs. The elbows are coming out to the side, and you're trying to keep that spine straight, chest on the thighs. Good will. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale, soften the knees. Release the hands from underneath the feet. And then exhale, place the palms on the floor in front of the toes. Bring the hands back to the hips. So we're going to come up just the way we came down. So the thumbs can come in toward the sacrum. On the inhale, keeping the knees softened here, you can inhale, lift up, arch back, and then exhale, come to stand up tall and step the feet back together in Tadasana. So, yeah, you might want your blocks on either side of your feet. Just a suggestion before we get started here, but we'll see. Inhale, bend the knees, arms alongside ears, Utkatasana. Exhale, bring the hands through heart center, twist over to the right. So bring the left elbow on the outside of the right thigh. Trying to, okay, so staying here, really creating a tension point between the left tricep and the right thigh. So those palms come in the center of the chest instead of up in your right armpit. Now look down at your feet. Place your left hand on the outside of the right foot on the floor or a block. I like a block, either on the lowest setting or the second lowest setting. Now, ground down here for a minute and really still try to open the chest up to the side of the room. Now, inhale, shift weight into the right leg and step the left leg all the way back into a lunge, staying in a twist. And then, grounding down in that left hand, bring the right arm alongside the ear, looking into the right palm. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5. Now staying here in a twist, inhale, step the left foot next to the right, and then exhale, bring the hands back together in prayer and heart center, staying in that twist. Inhale, come back to center, Utkatasana. And then exhale, fold over straight legs. Give those thighs a little break because we were in that Utkatasana for a while. Lucky for us, we can try this on the left side. So inhale, bend the knees, bring the arms back alongside the ears into awkward chair seat. And then exhale, bring the hands through heart center, twist over to the left. Bring that right tricep or elbow to the outside of the left thigh. Now really ground down here, sit a little deeper, try to get those prayer hands into the center of the chest instead of that left armpit. Now look down at the feet. Bring the right hand to the outside of the left foot on the floor or a block and really ground down in that palm. Shifting weight into the left leg. Inhale, step the right foot back into a lunge. Good, everybody. Try to remain in that twist. And then exhale, bring the left arm alongside the ear, looking into the left palm for 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. Now staying in that twist on the inhale, step the right foot next to the left. Exhale, bring the hands back to center in the center of the chest. Inhale, Utkatasana, coming back toward the front. And then exhale, fold forward over the legs for Uttanasana. Hands are on the floor blocks. And then make sure that they're on the opposite sides of the feet. So step the feet in between the hands. No, keep the blocks. Step the feet in between the hands. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, step or hop back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On the inhale, step the right foot forward. Left heel turns down. Rise up to warrior 1 and stay. Exhale 1. So in warrior 1, different than a lunge, right, where the heel is up in a lunge. Here you're going to turn this heel down, ground it down. There you go. Exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale, open arms and hips, warrior 2. On the inhale, extend the right leg. Exhale, reach toward the front, toward the windows, and place the right hand on the right shin. Lift the left arm up, coming into Trikonasana, triangle. Inhale, exhale 1. So rather than trying to reach down, we're lifting up. Woo, that was beautiful. Exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5. On the inhale, lift the torso up, arms parallel to the ground. Exhale, bend the right knee now, warrior 2. Looking over the right index finger for 1, inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. We'll try to track that right knee over the right big toe. Don't let it cave in. Exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. Inhale, extend the right leg. Exhale, rebend the right knee. Place the right hand on the outside of the right foot on the floor or a block. And then bring the left arm alongside the ear, coming into extended side angle A and looking into the left palm for 1. Inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4. Really try to open the chest to the side. Exhale 5. On the inhale, bring the left hand down to the ground, frame the right foot, come onto the ball of the left foot. So now we're going to come onto the ball of the left foot. Inhale, extend that right leg, and then hop the left foot in till the heel comes down on the ground. So your legs are on railroad tracks. They are not on a tightrope. Try to keep them in line with either one of your hips, but the toes are pointing toward the front edge of that mat. So rather than it being on an angle, you're going to turn those toes all the way front. Inhale, pull the right hip back and the left hip forward. shifting equal weight into the right leg and the left leg, not putting all of your weight into the left leg. And then exhale, fold forward over the right leg for Parsvottanasana. Inhale, exhale 1, so shift a little weight forward. Exhale 2. I should be able to drink some tea on your sacrum, put my teacup down. Exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5. Inhale, look up, lengthen. And then exhale, place the left hand on the outside of the right foot on the floor or a block. Try to make connection with the left forearm and the right shin. Ground down here. So try to move this back a little bit so the forearm and the shin are connected. Bring the right hand to the right hip and really pull that right hip up. And then bring the right arm up toward the ceiling, coming into revolved triangle. Inhale, exhale 1, inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5. On the inhale, bring the right hand back down and frame the right foot with both hands. Exhale, bring the left knee down to the ground. It can come underneath the hip. Now, tuck the left toes, and then I want you to bring the torso up, right, a little bit, but still keep the hands on the ground. And then start to bring the sit bones back toward the heel, extending the right leg and pulling those right toes all the way back. So you're going to get a really nice stretch again in those hamstrings and maybe even in those toes that are tucked under in the back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold over the right leg and try to walk the hands forward on the floor or blocks so that the hands come back in line with the foot. Inhale, exhale 1. That's nice, Mark. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. Now inhale, put the right foot flat on the ground. Start to move the hips forward a little bit. So now the hands are in line with the right foot, right? Tuck the left toes, lift the left knee off the ground, and then step the right foot back into a downward facing dog. Great, everybody. On the inhale, step the left foot forward, right heel turns down, rise up, warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale 1, inhale. Exhale 2, inhale. So better on the feet, bend the left knee. Exhale 3, inhale. Exhale 4, inhale. Exhale, open arms and hips, warrior 2. On the inhale, extend the left leg. Exhale, reach toward the windows and place the left hand on the left shin. Lift the right arm up, coming into Trikonasana. Inhale, exhale 1, inhale. Exhale 2, inhale. Exhale 3, inhale. Exhale 4, inhale. Exhale 5. On the inhale, come to stand up tall. And then exhale, bend the left knee, coming into warrior 2. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Really tracking that left knee over the left big toe, not letting it cave in toward the right. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Inhale, extend the left leg. Exhale, rebend the left knee. Place the left hand on the outside of the left foot on the floor or a block. Bring the right arm alongside the ear, looking into the right palm. And exhale here for 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. I like that block because then you can really open the chest to the side. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Inhale, bring the right hand down to the ground. Frame the left foot. Now come onto the ball of the right foot. Exhale, extend the left leg and hop the right foot in till the heel comes down on the ground. Again, not on a tight rope, so try to keep the legs in line with the hips and then point the right toes forward to the front edge of the mat, just like the left toes. Inhale, pull the left hip back, right hip forward. Equal weight distribution between the left and right leg. And then exhale, fold over the left leg for Parsvottanasana. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, place the right hand on the outside of the left foot on a block. Everybody use a block, I think. And you point your, so that's making it a little harder, right? Make that connection with the right forearm and the left shin so that you have a stabilization point. So I would walk this hand back so that this forearm makes a connection with the left shin. There you go. Now bring the left hand to the left hip. Really pull that left hip back so the chest comes open to the blanket side of the room. And then lift the left arm up toward the ceiling for revolved triangle. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Bring the block up a little bit. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. On the inhale, bring the left hand down to the ground. Frame the left foot with both hands. And then exhale, come down to the right knee. Knee can come underneath the hip. So you'll keep the hands on the ground, but you'll lift the torso up a little bit. Tuck the right toes under, and then bring the sit bones back toward that right heel. That's a nice stretch right there. And then extend that left leg long. So now you're getting a stretch in those back right toes and the left hamstring. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, fold over the left leg, walking those hands forward so they're in line with that left foot, and then really pull those left toes back so you get a nice stretch in the hamstring. Yeah. I mean, asana class is physical, so even though we're trying to get out of just our minds and our bodies, we can do that while getting a nice stretch in the hamstring. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. Inhale, come back up, placing the left foot on the ground. Hands are framing the left foot. Now tuck the back right toes and lift the right knee off the ground. And then step the left foot back, coming into downward facing dog. On the inhale, step the right foot forward in between the hands. And then exhale, drop down to the left knee. This time the left knee, bring it behind the left hip. We're setting up for Anjaneyasana. So if you need a little blanket underneath that left knee, because we'll be here for 5 breaths, that's cool. You can do that. Go ahead. And then inhale, lift the torso so the hands come off the ground, and you can first put the hands on top of the right knee. There you go. You know, a lot of people do this with the interlaced fingers. You don't really have to. You can just kind of place them there like that. And then on the inhale, you're going to start to shift the hips forward. But as much as you're shifting the hips forward, you're lifting your chest, the center of your chest up toward the ceiling. And then exhale, bring the head back for Anjaneyasana. 1, inhale. Exhale 2, inhale, trying to extend those arms as you can keep if you want to do a modification, you can, but even if the hands are on the thigh, you're trying to straighten those arms as you arch back. Exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5. On the inhale, lift the torso back up. Place the hands on the ground, framing the right foot with both hands. You might want to take your blocks with you for this next part, but that's up to you. I like to. You're going to walk the fingertips about 6 to 8 inches in front of the right foot. So first, tuck the back toes, lift the left knee off the ground so you're in a lunge, and then take both of your blocks and walk your hands forward about 6 to 8 inches, starting to shift weight into that right leg. So your left leg is going to come forward a little bit. You're not really in a lunge anymore. It becomes light, yeah? Now you're going to inhale, lift that left leg off the ground. Point the toes down toward the ground. And then exhale, coming onto the fingertips. Notice how that kind of engages those back muscles. And then on the inhale, try to bring the hands alongside the torso, coming into a warrior 3. Inhale, exhale 1, inhale, exhale 2. Oh, we're superwoman over here. Exhale 3, I like it. Inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale, bring the hands back down to the floor or blocks. Inhale, walk the hands back so the fingertips are in line with the toes. And then exhale, fold over the right standing leg for standing split. Inhale, exhale 1, inhale, exhale 2, inhale, you okay? Exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5. Inhale, now open the left hip by bending the left knee. And then exhale, spiral the left knee down to the outside of the right foot. Come to sit down on both sit bones, setting up for Adva Matsyendrasana. So you have an option here. Right now, we sat down with both legs bent, but the other option is to extend that left leg in front of you. It makes it a bit easier. I want to do that, okay? That right foot is grounded down outside of the left knee. The right knee is pointed up toward the ceiling. Now bring the right hand behind the sacrum. Inhale, lift the left arm up, and then exhale, twist over to the right. Inhale, exhale 1, inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5, inhale, come back to center, exhale, counter twist, inhale, come back to center, and exhale, setting up for fire log seat. So bring the left shin parallel to the front edge of the mat for Agni Stambhasana or your figure 4, and then stack the right shin on top of it. So the knee comes over the ankle comes over the knee. Option here, right? Because what we're trying to do is stretch the piriformis on the outside, the outer hip, right? So instead of looking at your feet like you're in lotus, if this is like a little hard, do a figure 4, right? With the right leg on top, and then you can actually bend the left knee, place the left foot on the ground, right? And then sit up tall. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale. If you're in fire log seat, fold forward. Inhale, exhale 1, inhale, exhale 2, try to pull those toes back. Exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5. Good. On the inhale, walk the hands back, lift the torso, and then everybody can bring the right leg around, coming into an upright pigeon with the left leg in the front. So you might need some props here, right? Keep the left leg there, swing the right leg behind you. Now you can, we're going to stay in an upright pigeon. So walk the hands back in line with the hips. And then you do have an option here to bend the right knee and reach around to grab the inside of the right foot, but making sure to turn the shoulders back toward the windows for 1. But you can also leave the leg out, and just experience the upright pigeon for 1. Inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, good. Exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5. If you have the right knee bent, release it carefully, tuck those back toes, place the hands on the ground in front of the left shin, lift the hips coming into downward facing dog. Oh, we have to do that on the left side. On the inhale, step the left foot in between the hands, coming into a lunge. And then exhale, drop down to the right knee. Remember that right knee can stay behind the hip because we're setting up for Anjane Asana, or Hanuman's mom. If you need a blanket underneath the knee, go ahead. Now on the inhale, lift the torso, bring the hands to the left knee, and then start to shift the hips forward as you also try to lift the center of the chest up toward the ceiling. And then finally exhale, as you arch back, you can lift the head up to look toward the ceiling. Again, take the same variation of arms that you tried on the other side. Even if the hands are on top of the left thigh, right? As you're arching back, you're trying to extend the arms. That gives you some space here in the asana. Exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5. Inhale, lift the torso up. And now place the hands on the ground, framing the left foot with both hands. All right, we're gonna move into that warrior 3. So if you like those blocks like I do, have them in your hands. Tuck the right toes and lift the right knee off the ground. And then walk the fingertips about 6 to 8 inches in front of the left toes. And that right leg is gonna become light now behind you. Inhale, lift the right leg up with the toes pointing down to the ground. And then exhale, come onto the fingertips on those blocks. First, feel that the back muscles are engaged. Now on the inhale, lift the arms alongside the body. Or if you tried the Superman version before, go ahead. Exhale 1, inhale, exhale 2. See, well, you rushed and now you have to stay here for so much longer. Exhale 3, inhale. I didn't mean to jinx you, I'm sorry. Exhale 4, inhale, exhale, bring the hands back down to the floor or blocks. Inhale, walk the hands back so the fingertips are in line with the toes. Again, you can keep the hands on blocks here. And then exhale, fold over the left standing leg for standing split. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5. Open the right hip by bending the right knee, and then exhale, spiral that right knee down to the outside of the left foot, coming to sit down on both sit bones. Again, we're setting up for half-seated spinal twist, Adho Matsyendrasana. So if you extended the leg before, so now bring this right leg out so the left knee stays bent. Now step this foot over. There you go. Okay. Bring the left hand behind the sacrum so you keep the head and the sacrum in line with each other. Inhale, lift the right arm alongside the ear, and exhale, twist over to the left. Inhale, exhale 1, inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4. So try to sit evenly on both sit bones. Exhale 5, there you go. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, counter twist. Inhale, come back to center. And now we'll set up for fire log or Agni Stambhasana, or that figure 4 again, right? So, and this side might be different than the other one, right? One hip sometimes is a little tighter than the other. But now you're gonna bring the right shin parallel to the front edge of the mat and stack the left shin on top of it, ankle over knee, knee over ankle. You're dorsal flexing those feet, so pulling the toes back toward each other. That really helps to protect the knee joint as you try to even stack this a little bit more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold over the legs if you're in fire log. If you're in that figure 4, just ground down in those hands. Try to lengthen the spine. Good, Mark. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Inhale, lift the torso by walking the hands back. And now we're going to come into an upright pigeon with the right leg in the front. So you can swing that left leg around. The right leg stays in the front. We're just coming into an upright pigeon here. So you can place the hands on blocks. I like doing that rather than like kind of putting my hands like this because it just puts unnecessary stress on my finger joints. Inhale. If you did so on the other side, are you all right? Well, bend the left knee and reach around, grab the inside of the left foot, and then turn the shoulders back toward the front. Inhale, exhale 1, inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5. Release the back foot if you have it. Place the hands in front of the right shin. Tuck the back toes, lift the hips, coming into downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, slide forward to Bhujangasana. And then keeping the tops of the feet on the ground, keeping the legs together, lift the hands off the mat, coming into Cobra for 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, try to lift up a little bit more. Exhale 4. Inhale, exhale, come down. Rest the cheek to one side and rock the hips from side to side. Now you can bring the arms alongside the body. Bring the forehead back to the center of the mat, setting up for Shalabhasana, locust. Keeping the legs together. On the inhale, lift everything up all at once. The head, the shoulders, the arms, the chest, the legs. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale, exhale, come down. Rest the cheek to the other side and rock the hips from side to side. Bring the forehead back to the center. Bend the knees, reach around, grab the outside of the feet or the ankles. We're setting up for Dhanurasana or seat of the bow. So as we press the feet into the hands, try to remember to lift up toward the center line rather than splaying the knees out to the side. So on the inhale, press the feet into the hands and lift up. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. You can look up, Mark. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale. Come down. Release the feet. Rest the cheek to one side and rock the hips from side to side. We'll do one more Dhanurasana. So bring the forehead back to the center. Bend the knees, reach around, grab the outside of the feet. On the inhale, press the feet into the hands and lift up. Exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale, come down. Release the feet and rock the hips from side to side. Bring the hands next to the chest. You can tuck the toes here, and then on the inhale, move forward and up, coming onto the tops of the feet for upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On the inhale, now step the knees behind the wrists and come to stand on the shins. Okay. We're going to try a little Virasana here. So if you need a bolster or 3 bolsters, I can bring you one. Virasana is hero seat. So anybody want a bolster? Yeah, all right. So we're going to put it behind you, actually. So bring the knees together. Lift the hips for a minute. And then everybody take a block, at least one block. I can get you a bolster in a minute. Let me just have you at least sit in it. And then as you bring the knees together, move the shins off to the side, and then try to sit down in between the shins. So the sit bones are either on a block, 2 blocks, or the ground. Or you can sit on a bolster. So we're not in Supta Virasana yet. We're just in Virasana. Sit here, catch your breath. Don't forget your Ujjayi pranayama. Now, if you're on one block, if you're on like 2 blocks, then just stay here, right? Like get that stretch in the knee joint, in the thigh. If you're on 1 block and now you want to lean back slightly, coming onto the forearms as you lean back. And if you want to use a bolster behind you, you can do that. Or I can move that bolster out of the way if you want. But try to really keep those knees together as you lean back a little bit. Now, if you're sitting on a block and you're halfway leaned back, you can just stay sitting right up. If you have nothing underneath your sit bones and you want to try to come all the way back, lying flat on the back or lying on a bolster, you can go ahead and do that. Inhale. Exhale 1. You want a bolster? All right. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Inhale. Exhale 6. You're good. Inhale. Exhale 7. Now, don't let the knees splay out to the side. So you really got to keep those knees together. Exhale 8. Inhale. Exhale 9. Inhale. Exhale 10. My beautiful heroes. All right, trying not to go to one side or the other. Lift up using the core. Okay, now we have to be very careful, right? Because we've been stretching the knee joints. So work with me here. Come onto the hands and knees. Yeah, so you're gonna lift those sit bones up and then come into tabletop. So now the knees can be about hips width distance apart. And then stretch that right leg back. Just rock back and forth. And then you can bring the right knee back to the ground. Then you can bring the left knee, rock back and forth, outstretching the left leg. Good. Now you can bring both knees to the ground. And then bring the knees back together. And then come to sit back on the sit bones. So notice how this is different, thunder seat now, different than Virasana because we're sitting on our heels rather than before you were sitting in between our heels. So yeah, I mean, if you need the block still in, then you can leave them there, right? But otherwise, come and sit back onto the heels. And then we'll just take a twist here. So inhale, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, just twist over to the right. Bring the left hand to the outside of the right thigh. You can bring the right hand behind you. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Inhale, come back to center. And then exhale, twist over to the left. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Inhale, come back toward the center. And then everybody just bring your left sit bone to the outside of your feet. Swing your legs around so they're pointed toward the windows. And then come to lie down. Bend the knees. Bring the arms alongside the body and tickle the heels with the fingertips. Setting up for half bridge. So press into the hands. On the inhale, lift the hips. And then exhale, you can clasp the hands underneath the back. You can reach the sides of the mat and try to pull it apart for 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. Lift, lift, lift. Exhale, release the hands from underneath the back. Come down, upper, middle, lower back. Now windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Don't hug the knees just yet. We don't want to confuse the spine. And now we have our 3 Urdhva Dhanurasanas, or upward bows. But we can do another half bridge, just like we did, if you're like, what is she talking about with upward bow? Or you can put a block underneath the sacrum and come into a supported half bridge. Or we can try the upward bow. Going to use the wall, a little crowded, but yeah, if you have wall at your disposal and you want to use that, great. Otherwise, place the hands next to the ears, fingertips pointing toward the shoulders, and then keeping the knees bent, feet are on the floor. On the inhale, press into the hands, press into the feet, lift up, exhale 1, inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale, tuck the chin, come down. So why don't you just practice what we did before? Because that's like a weird little half thing that you're doing. But if you just lift the hips up and interlace the hands underneath the back, it's a lot of the same. We're going to do another Urdhva Dhanurasana. Do you want to try holding on to my ankles so then you can lift all the way up? So hold on here, but you have to press down and lift up, okay? But I'm going to help you, all right? So on the inhale, press into the hands and feet and lift up. Exhale 1, that's beautiful. Inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale, tuck the chin, come down. Upper, middle, lower back. I think you can do that without me, but you want...
I don't know how to use the,
Okay.
Yeah. Like I feel like I'm stuck somewhere.
It's like the same, but you can do it again like that. All right, last one. Before we do the last one, close your eyes. Bring the prayer hands together in the center of your forehead or your third eye. Or you can do your heart chest if you'd like to. But close the eyes and just remember that higher intention that you set at the start of the practice. And then let's do the best one, the third one, Urdhva Dhanurasana. So bring the hands and feet in place. It's the same momentum even when I'm not here. On the inhale, press into the hands and feet and lift up. Exhale 1, inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale, tuck the chin, come down. Upper, middle, lower back. Come down to the back of the head, not the top. Yeah? Now you can give the knees a hug. Still trying to elongate the spine in the mat. Good. You can make clockwise and counterclockwise circles with the sacrum. And then bring the knees over to the left side, knees in line with navel, and then look over the right shoulder. You can bring them all the way to the ground, onto there, and then look over the right shoulder. So you're giving your spine a little bit of a twist, right? Yeah? Inhale, bring the knees back to center. And then exhale, bring the knees over to the right side. Yeah, that's what I did. Okay. And then look over the left shoulder. So bring them all the way down to the ground. Yeah. And then you don't have to hold on to it because this can just rest here. And then you can look over the left shoulder. There you go. And just rest your There you go. And then inhale, bring the knees back to the center. And then you can rock and roll up 3 times. That feels good. And then we'll meet in staff seat, Dandasana. So once you rock and rolled, you can just place the feet on the ground and then extend the legs out long. Dorsal flexing the feet so the toes are pointing up toward the ceiling. We're sitting up tall, so the head's in line with the sacrum. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, fold over the legs for Paschimottanasana. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2, so extend your legs. Actually, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. Inhale, exhale 6. Inhale, exhale 7. Inhale, exhale 8. Inhale, exhale 9. Inhale, exhale 10. All right. Inhale, lift the torso. Bring the fingertips 6 to 8 inches behind the sit bones, setting up for incline plank. On the inhale, press into the hands and lift the hips, pointing the toes toward the ground. And exhale, bring the head back for 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the chin, come down. Okay, so we're gonna set up for our shoulder stand practice. Or you can bring the legs up the wall in Viparita Karani, or you can bring the soles of the feet together, knees come out to the side, you lie back, Supta Baddha Konasana. And if anybody is looking at me like, what are you talking about? I will gladly help you with those options. So for this one, you can, that's fine, but then it's Supta Baddha Konasana, so you're lying back. Yeah, and then that way it uses the gravity on your knees. Or you can bring the legs up the wall like this, or you can do shoulder stand. Okay, that's okay. All right, hold on. Sit up, sit up, sit up, sit up, sit up, sit up. Look at me. Sit up like this, okay? Scoot all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way. Now roll back and bring your legs up the wall. No. Scoot all the way up to here and now roll onto your back. And that way you don't have as much, oh, okay. Yeah. The closer you can keep your sit bones, the less awkward it is, because then you don't have to do all that scooting. You got it. If your legs are in shoulder stand, hinge at the hips and bring the toes behind the head, coming into Halasana, plow seat. If your toes touch the ground behind the head, you can clasp the hands behind the back. If the toes don't touch the ground, keep your hands on your back. If your legs are up the wall, you can leave them there. You can bring the soles of the feet together, knees out to the side. Now, if you're in Halasana, you can bend the knees, bring the knees around the ears, and then bring the fingertips inside the knee creases for Karnapadasana, or you can give the thighs a hug. Inhale, exhale 1, inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5. If you're in Karnapadasana, bring the hands behind the back, using them as brakes, and slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time. If your legs are up the wall, roll over to one side. Just be careful of your neighbor. And then come to life. Everybody come to lie flat on the back. So remove any blankets or props from the mat that you might have used. So that way you can lie flat on the back with the legs extended, but together. So we're setting up for Matsyasana. So the arms are alongside the torso. You're tucking the elbows in toward the hips. On the inhale, puff up the chest. Exhale, come to the top of the head. Inhale, exhale 1. We are almost at Shavasana, but not yet. Exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. So like this, yeah? Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. So try to come to the top of the head. Inhale, exhale 6. Inhale, go ahead. Exhale 7. That's enough. Exhale 8. Inhale, exhale 9. Inhale, exhale 10. Inhale, tuck the chin. Come to lie flat on the back. And now we have our headstand practice. So if you have headstand in your practice, go ahead. If you need to use the wall, find a little space for that. Or we'll practice dolphin. So not raising the legs up, but actually just putting the head on the ground and feeling a little bit of that blood running into the head, right? So that inversion. So come into a child seat. Bring the arms alongside the ears. Turn the palms to face up so that the forearms come a little closer together. And then interlace the fingers together, trying to bring the wrist creases together. Bring the top of the head behind the wrist creases. And then tuck the toes, lift the hips, coming into a dolphin. Then walk the feet forward so the hips come over the shoulders. Bend one knee into the chest. Bend the other knee into the chest. And then straighten both legs. Flex your feet so you find Tadasana. Pull in the ribs. Don't forget to breathe. Using your Ujjayi pranayama. You need to come down? Yeah, go ahead. Bring this leg down. There you go. Good. Good job. You're like, no, I'm not gonna try it. Not gonna try anything. Well, it's the other way, but that's okay. Well, you see how everybody else is like that, so you got to turn over. Yeah? We're coming down in a minute, so you know what? It's all right. Don't worry. Pull your legs back, Daniel. That's good. Nice, Christy. All right. If you're still in headstand, plan your descent and come into a child seat. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Inhale. Exhale 6. Inhale. Exhale 7. Inhale. Exhale 8. Inhale. Exhale 9. Inhale. Exhale 10. And now we'll set up for Shavasana. So everybody have your head face toward the windows. And now you can let go of that Ujjayi pranayama, let go of the Mula Bandha that I know we remembered about all of class. Roll up the blanket if you need to and put it underneath your knees. The feet can come out to the side. It's a little toasty, but if you need to put a sweatshirt or anything on to stay warm, palms face up, and then just rest.
America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Your award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping you end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation. Call 800-741-3889. 800-741-3889. 800-741-3889. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com. Yeah, it's a cliche thing to say, but I feel like my faith in humanity has been restored. The second we arrived here, we had food, housing, transportation, treatment, you name it. It was taken care of by St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. There was not a single other care in the world except for money, because St. Jude made that happen. The best way I can really describe it is this is heaven on earth. To the people who donate to St. Jude, yeah, I just want them to know that I don't think anyone in this world or anything in this world is giving me a greater gift. We came as two desperate parents, and they saved their daughter's life. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Gently start to deepen the breath, bringing movement back into the body, wiggling the fingers and the toes, making circles with the ankles and the wrists. You can move the head from side to side. Stretch the arms overhead. Stretch the arms in one direction, the legs in another. And then come to roll over onto the right side, coming into a fetal position on the right side. And then coming to sit up tall, finding a comfortable seat for a short meditation practice. So you can sit on a blanket or a block. Maybe bring the sit bones up a little higher than the knees, but up to you. And then once you find that seat, commit to that stillness for a few moments. Deep full inhales through the nose, Deep, full exhales through the nose. Close the eyes and draw the senses inward, focusing the mind. If you need something to focus the mind on, you can inhale silently saying to yourself, Om, and then exhale through the nose silently saying to yourself, Om. Loka samasta Sukhino bhavantu. If you know it, you can sing along. Loka samasta Sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta Sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta Sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. May the thoughts, the words, the actions of my own life contribute in some small way to that happiness and to that freedom for all. Bringing the hands together in prayer and heart center, bowing the head, giving thanks and praise for the teachings of yoga from the past, the teachers and teachings of the present, and those that have yet to be revealed to us. Om Bolo Satguru Bhagavan Ki. Thank you, everybody. That was fun. So I'm Stefanie. It was nice to have you all here. And welcome to some that I haven't met before, or if this is your first time here at Urban Sadhu. Really nice to have you. If you have any questions, please let me know. And one announcement on Sunday, March 30th, so that's like 2 weeks away, from 5 to 6:30, we have a Soul's Awakening sound journey with a vocalist, and her name is Kristen Hoffman. Have a nice weekend. Thank you. That's a little bright. Bye, thank you.